Stetson tournament's been so long ago. I've gotten a BB gun with a compass in the stock when this thing which tells time since then. So, we didn't had a nice trip, a great trip for the team. They got to enjoy themselves a little bit, see some of Florida. I know Tony Niebler from Germany. Had never seen the beach here in the States, so she enjoyed that. And it was a good team bonding trip. Didn't play very well the first day against Stetson, but a lot of that credit goes to Stetson because they made shots. We contested quite a few of their made threes. They shot 50% from the three-point line, and very talented offensive team. Hit a big three at the buzzer at the half with somebody hanging all over them to really kind of kill our momentum. Then we came back, responded well against Bethune-Cookman, against a very athletic team, and did a nice job defensively, and were able to come away with a win there and make everybody's Christmas a little bit better going into Christmas with a W. Finished the non-conference with a winning record. Only 3 teams in our league did that this year, us, and then our first 2 conference opponents, Eastern Kentucky and UT Martin, and came back from Christmas and had a good week of practice. You just never know how teams are going to respond that first game back after so many days off, and I felt like we were a little fatigued at times during the Eastern game, which we allowed them to have some runs. A critical one late in the second half that really kind of broke our backs and was large part after just due to some defensive breakdowns. And I think, I've got to do a better job getting Kiana Kirby some rest. And, one thing, bright spot for us in that game was the fact that Natanya Jackson gave us some significant quality minutes for the first time all season. She had a good few days of practice leading into it and then did a nice job during the game. And she can change the complexion of our team with her size and ability to control the paint as she gets comfortable playing. So hopefully, don't know if that's a one-day thing or what, but hopefully she can gain some momentum from that and become a force for us in the minutes she's on the floor. I wouldn't say I'm happy because we're not undefeated, but with so many unknowns, with such a young group, and really everybody on our team is playing a completely different role than they've ever played. We don't have those 2 or 3 people that have played their roles and moved on in the program right now with all the freshmen we have and the transfers and those things. So, I'm pleased with the winning record at this point. Knew the Eastern trip was going to be a very tough game, and we played well enough offensively. They came into the game leading the league in scoring defense, and we put up enough points to win. I tell you, they were 18 of 20 from the free throw line in the second half, while we were 8 of 16. That's hard to overcome. But I think we're in a little better shape than we thought going into the season. Right now, what I'm seeing a little hesitation from a couple of players. Where they're starting to understand, maybe the weight of having the opportunity to play and take shots, and they've got to get back to playing loose. And then on the defensive end, I think it could be fatigue and the layoff, but our defensive intensity wasn't there for the full 40 minutes. So I'm not real happy with that right now. But overall, we're in decent shape. The conference season is a new season, and right now we're 0-1, so we're not pleased with that.
You talked about Kiana trying to get her a little bit more time to sit during games. Is this a matter of you're trying to find someone else to step up and
No, I just think especially in a game like that where you make a run, you get back in it, and it's a 6 to 8 point lead for a large portion of the game, and you're keeping her out there. As a coach, I'm keeping her out there to try to get her offense to have that scoring ability to get back in the game. And I just think, it's a mistake. I've got to get her out of the game. We've got people on the bench that are capable. And, in that situation, she played 35 minutes. That needs to be more like 28 to 30. And maybe Julia Fox needs a couple more minutes. Nakia Edom needs a couple more minutes. We had some foul trouble at Eastern where Taylor Porter and Jansen Starks had 3 fouls early. Tony Niebler is somebody who could have been out there a couple of more minutes, but we've got to find her more rest than that. That's just too many minutes for her because she's taking rest during the game on the defensive end, and that's a problem. And, you know, that's when you look at it at the end of the day, if she plays too many minutes, that's my fault. So I've got to get her the ability to be focused and intense on the defensive end the entire time she's on the floor.
You've got two players average with an assist-to-turnover ratio greater than 2-to-1. Have you ever had two players put up numbers like that?
Yeah, I think it's possible that maybe Shalia Petty and Amber Guffey might have been there. But I'm not certain about that, Will. Not that I can recall, but it's possible that those two were. You know, that would be the only combination I could think of.
It's also about going up against Jasmine Newsom and Heather Muller.
Who? You know, we've got a couple of more times to play them, maybe 3 more times to play those two. You know, they're seniors, and I'll tell you right now in this league, there are 3 players that are, I think, just heads and shoulders above everybody else. We just played one in Marie Carpenter, a senior, very intelligent. She did a great job getting to the free throw line, you know, and it really was that game in the second half with her getting to the free throw line was a senior taking some freshmen to task and knowing how to draw fouls. And then, you know, we've got 2 seniors, one that's been the player of the year in the league for a couple of years, and another one that if she was on the ballot, probably a lot of people would have voted for player of the year. Probably would have won it if she had been placed on the ballot. So it's a tough task. They can both put up 40+ on you on any given night, and you know they're just an outstanding tandem. And I'm looking forward to them graduating and having successful careers after they graduate.
What's the keys to beating Tennessee, Mark?
Well,
You've done that with them on the team.
yeah, and you know we have to score. We have to be efficient on offense. We can't give up any free, easy points because they're going to score. They're going to score a certain number if you play great defense. But we can't give up any easy points. We can't give up the offensive putbacks off the glass, and we can't give up the things like, you know, we had about 12 points last night defensively where we just allowed somebody to cut right in front of us to the rim or allowed somebody to cut and get a wide open 8-foot shot. We can't give up those types of baskets. We have to be locked in defensively and make everything as difficult as possible. And then we have to take care of the basketball and be efficient on offense. You know, there are some teams you just understand you got to score a certain number of points to beat them. You know, I think in our league we're probably one of those teams. I mean, you're going to have to score to beat us. I think we've got enough people that can score. We're going to put up 65 to 75 points probably on most nights. So teams are going to have to be effective offensively to beat us, and certainly with Martin, you're going to have to do that.
How are you preparing some of your younger guards that have never seen Newsom and Butler play before? How are you preparing?
But we'll approach it just like every other game. I mean, we'll watch a lot of film. We'll talk a lot about their tendencies. You know, they're special players. They're going to score, and that's the biggest thing is understanding. You know what? You can't hang your head because somebody makes you got to make them make great plays to score. And when they do, you can't hang your head and pout about it. You've got to get back and do something on the other end and make it as difficult as possible. But, you know, it won't be anything special that we don't do. You know, we'll do the same things we do for every opponent. You know, and we've just got to understand that. And that's really with any game at any time. And we try to stay in the possession that we're in and live in the moment. And, you know, it's going to be critical with this team. Because if we hang our heads for a second and we pout and there's any negative energy, well, they're going to feed off that, and they're going to have it's going to snowball on us. So we've got to stay positive and just understand it's going to be difficult. They're going to make plays, and we've got to make plays.